All right, Kelly, appreciate it. It's a Positively Portland news now. A cancer diagnosis is one of the hardest things a person can face, but a Portland-based nonprofit helps women tackle the disease with strength and grace.
Fighting Pretty empowers women to put cancer on the back foot through care packages, pampering, and so much more. Joining us this morning with how you can get involved in their mission, we have events coordinator Lily Bloom and founder Kara Frazier, a cancer survivor herself. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for being here. So Kara, tell us a little bit about your journey through a tough diagnosis and how Fighting Pretty came to be.
Yeah, so I was diagnosed with breast cancer when I was in my 20s. I found a lump in my left armpit area, and it was after my grandmother had passed from a long battle with breast cancer. And I went to the doctor. They said, "You're much too young to worry." Again, I was in my 20s, and I really pushed it. I was a health advocate for myself. And sure enough, it was stage 3 breast cancer. I went through all the things, surgery, chemo, radiation, you know, everything. And someone gifted me a little pair of pink boxing gloves, a family friend, and those gloves were really a symbol of strength for me. And so they reminded me I was strong and I could keep on fighting through anything. And it was some hot pink lipstick that helped me feel like Kara, and a scarf and some other accessories. And so when I was through with treatment, I sent on my original gloves to one woman who then sent them on to 5 more women. And I realized I could kind of create this movement. And so I started Fighting Pretty and started sending care packages out of my, apartment in New York City at the time. And now Fighting Pretty has helped over 50,000 women across the globe.
Oh,
Wow,
that's incredible.
It really is incredible.
Thank you.
When you say it made you feel like you, what do you mean by that? What piece of that made you feel like you again?
Yeah, good question. So when you go through breast cancer treatment or any type of cancer treatment, through the surgeries, through the treatments, you might lose your hair, you might lose your breasts, your ovaries, you may have scars that are visible. And cancer takes a lot away from you emotionally.
Yeah.
There's a real emotional struggle there. And so that pink lipstick for me was something that reminded me I wasn't just a cancer patient. I was Kara. I was still a strong, beautiful woman who was in my 20s climbing the corporate ladder and dating and doing what 20-somethings do. And so that hot pink, lipstick really reminded me that I could still get out there and be Kara, not just this cancer patient.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well said.
Lily, I think of the situation that I've been in, I know Travis has been in, where you have a close friend or a loved one who is facing a devastating diagnosis. And there's always that thought of just like, oh my gosh, I wish there was more I could do. I don't know what to do. And so to be able to turn to an organization like Fighting Pretty for some support and to be able to be that support for someone in your life, what does that feel like?
Well, we get a lot of testimonials of loved ones who have been recently diagnosed, and like you said, they never know what to do. And so that's what our Pretty packages are for. You can send one to anyone going through it at any point in their journey, and we're also a support organization for the loved ones of those family members. So yeah, it's really something to keep in mind.
And it can be something so small like those little pink boxing gloves can really just make such an impact.
Yes.
Of course, you're not able to do this work without the support of a lot of dedicated volunteers.
Yes.
We wanted to talk a little bit about volunteering today because you're going to be participating later this fall with the Standards Volunteer Expo, a fantastic annual event. If you're looking for ways to get involved in the community, it is the place to go. So I'm curious, how long have you been working with the Standard, and how important are volunteers in the work you do?
Yeah, we haven't worked with the Standard for too long, so I'm so excited with the connection that we have.
Yeah.
She's also, a cancer survivor, the woman that we made a connection with. And so there's so many different ways that you can volunteer with Fighting Pretty. We actually have what we call packing parties. And so we have our Strength and Beauty kits, which are kind of mini Pretty packages that go to hospitals and other nonprofit organizations directly to women in active cancer treatment. And so we have volunteers all over, that come to our office, or we have other, satellite areas across the country where we have volunteer events that people put these together, hundreds at a time.
You'll have groups of friends that'll get together, right, and have their own packing party.
That's awesome.
Such a great idea.
That's a really great idea. What other events, what other ways can people be involved with Fighting Pretty?
Good question. So we have also lipstick drives. So similar to the way that you would have a toy drive, We are always looking for donated lipstick that is paraben-free, toxic-free, organic, so that we can put them in our pretty packages or in our Strength and Beauty kits. We also have little coloring sheets that kids color for us that we put into our pretty packages as well. We write little love letters that go in here as well. So we have these letters, and then you can write on the back, stay strong, you're amazing.
And those messages of support really can mean the world.
They
to
really
folks going
do.
through this.
That's so great. And before we wrap up, I just want to make sure that we highlight, these things are awesome.
They're so cool.
These little boxing gloves. This is what you were talking about a little bit earlier
Yes.
too. I just want to make sure that people see these. This is where do you hang yours in your car? Where do you put yours?
Yes, so the original gloves that I had always hung on my bedpost. And now I have a pair on my car. And it's really just a reminder for me every day that I'm strong and I'm beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's really important to note too that we don't just help women battling breast cancer. It started out with breast cancer because I'm a breast cancer survivor, but we now create gloves in a whole bunch of different colors. May is actually Melanoma Awareness Month, so we have black for melanoma.
Yeah.
My husband is a melanoma survivor, and so even though we send care packages to women primarily, men who receive a pair of gloves really know that they're so strong and so
Absolutely.
amazing. So
Absolutely.
we're kind of sisters and brothers in this
Oh my
fight.
gosh. Well, hey, we really appreciate you both being here. We love to be able to shine a light on the incredible work you're doing. And if folks at home want to learn more, you can check out more about their upcoming Pretty Powerful Girls Day out on KOIN.com, and mark your calendars, because coming up again this September at the Standard Volunteer Expo, you can learn more about fighting pretty and hundreds of local charity organizations that could really use your help. For 17 years, the Standard's culture of caring and commitment to organizations that make a positive difference in the community have helped connect them with thousands of new volunteers. KOIN 6 and Portland CW are proud media partners of the largest volunteer expo in Oregon, hosting more than 100 local nonprofits at Pioneer Courthouse Square Thursday, September 4th. So stay with AM Extra this summer for more charity spotlights as we work up to this year's Volunteer Expo. And again, thanks to the folks at Fighting Pretty for being here today.
All right, it is 8:40.